Hello and welcome to everyone. Vladimir Vladek here, the Bulgarian coach. Now I'm going to speak about the match between Marcin Tybura and Alexander Romanov, which was added to UFC 251 fight card, which will take place in Abu Dhabi on July 11th. It's gonna be a fun fight, definitely a fun fight to watch. And now, if you're asking me, it's an interesting clash. Marcin Tybura is the former M1 heavyweight champion who arrived at the UFC with only one loss, and he battled well. He turned the lights out on Victor Peshta via head kick, and turned the lights out on Luis Enrique, defeated Andrei Arlovsky, Stefan Struve, Sergey Spivak. In the last four matches, he was riding a score of 2-2 with decision wins over Stefan Struve and Sergey Spivak, and losses to Augusto Sakai and Shamil Abdurakhimov. He simply has to win this fight. Marcin Tybura is a typical striker, very, very good striker, also a black belt in BJJ. He is good on the ground, but the majority of his fights was ended in the stand-up. He is very, very good actually on the ground, and when I saw this fact, I was kind of surprised, because all right, he has a black belt, but the majority of his fights, Marcin fights in the stand-up. He is very, very good in the stand-up, very good stand-up fair specialist, and he knows to trade shots, to trade blows. He knows to push the fight. He knows to push the pace. It's kind of hard to fight him, In the early days, Marcin scored some really, really nasty knockouts. He has seven wins via knockout, 6 wins via submission. So you can call him an all-rounder, but it's kind of hard to trade shots with him, especially if you're a guy with shorter hands, because Marcin keeps fighters on the distance very, very well with his long-range strikes and so. And the other side, we got Alexander Romanov, Moldovan prospect, riding on a score of 11-0, and riding on a score of 11-0. So I'm pretty much sure that he is going to be an awesome one. It's going to be a great fight, a fantastic match, and Marcin Tybura and Alexander Romanov. Alexander Romanov is going to have a great match, and I'm sure it's going to be a great one. Alexander Romanov won the majority of his fights via stoppage and via rear naked choke, Isaac heel choke, arm triangle choke. He was doing a really, really great job, but he also knows to outpunch. So I predict a very, very violent match. I predict a great stand-up affair, a great MMA affair, and I predict it's gonna be a fantastic way to go. It's gonna be awesome, just awesome, If you ask me, it's gonna be a very, very awesome fight. It's gonna be a fabulous match, and I think it's gonna be a really, really fantastic way to go. A really great way to brawl, and man, it's gonna be an all-around fight. Both fighters are equally good on the ground in the stand-up. It's gonna be very, very hard to predict this one. When it comes to gas tank, I give advantage to Marcin Tybura, but Alexander Romanov is a rising talent, uprising prospect, and I don't know. I have a feeling that he is going. I have a feeling that he is going. I slightly lean towards Alexander Romanov. That's where I'm leaning for right now. I slightly lean towards Alexander Romanov.